Too many men waste away their 20s dating the wrong women, so I made a list of the top women you want to avoid in 2026 coming from a man who is married. If she vapes, cut her off immediately. If she calls male celebrities hot, ew, gone. If she hates the idea of being a mother, okay, you don't want to procreate, what's the point of dating then? You're going to be very lonely in the future. If she goes out on weekends, bonus if she dresses unmodest, cut. If she's ungrateful for the little things, what an insufferable person to be around. If she has a past history of cheating, okay, again, patterns do not lie. Avoid. Cut. If she doesn't say thank you after buying dinner, again, what an insufferable person to be around. If she sucks at communicating and is avoidant during hard conversations, that one is going to save you a lot of trouble. Cut. If you say no guy friends and she says that's controlling, terrible mindset, cut her immediately, block her. If she doesn't make you sourdough and can't cook, thank me later. Too many.
Yeah, I mean, and he didn't even mention the body count, right? If this one had to withdraw a finger for each 10 bodies she has, she will need the fingers on her feet too. But gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Maybe you hear a bit of echo. I've changed the setting a bit, but we'll talk more about that later. Let's talk about the poor quality of women today, guys. It's actually inconceivable what a downgrade women have had. We're now expecting the literal bare minimum, which is, please don't cheat on me. Please don't dress like a professional prostitute when you go out, you know, like have some basic level of respect towards your partner. Yeah, we don't get that anymore, guys. In fact, you even get called controlling if, God forbid, you don't want your girl thirsting for every man's attention. But guys, you know how women are. I don't need to explain it further. So let's move on to this one instead that further develops the point.
I'm a dirty slag, and I just hate how there's this whole new thing about guys have just decided that they love kind of innocent girls who haven't really done anything before, don't really do anything, don't really have like an interest in doing anything, you know, like that kind of vibe. I just hate it. It's not fair. Like, how about girls like me? What are we supposed to do?
Yeah, what's a whore to do, guys? Not get married and die alone. That's what's a whore to do. But I love how she says, this new thing where men have come up with wanting girls that are not pre-fucked. No, actually, that's what men have wanted all throughout history, like through millennia, ever since the dawn of humanity. Like, can my girl that's supposed to be my soulmate, my other half, my supporter, can she not come pre-fucked by a dozen other guys? Or is that too much to ask? Apparently it is, guys. Like, I'm sorry, but if you come pre-fucked, immediately zero value. Like, I think the only situation in which a woman that comes pre-fucked is acceptable is some Mary Magdalene type of stuff, where she's done a complete 180. Now she's the perfect wife, perfect in every sense, you know, will never cheat on you, never betray you, like absolute perfect in all aspects conceivable. And then maybe you can sort of maybe forgive, you know, begrudgingly that she has sucked 20 wieners, and still that's not applicable to all men, and still even if you forgive her, you're running a massive risk, right? But it's like, all right, maybe if literally all of the stats are maxed out to the brim, maybe then I can forgive this one thing. But most women, yeah, they don't even reach that. Like, take a look at this one. She won't even apologize for it. Yeah, I've sucked 40 other wieners, but I won't even apologize for it. Deal with it, you know? Yeah, no, thank you. If I want a used up woman, I can get a sex doll, alright? That still has the last guy's substance in it. Literally this woman. But anyway, guys, let's move on to this other one.
So, like, is anyone actually going on dates from dating apps, or are we all just letting the matches and messages pile up in our inboxes? Unless it's one of those where the matches expire, like Raya, Cuffed, I think Bumble still does that. Because otherwise, my inbox will be at like 147, and I am not meeting a single person.
Yeah, another thing you have to think about with these women is that every single woman you see, guys, you just multiply her age by 100, because that's probably the amount of options that women get, right? So she's 20-year-old. I mean, the options didn't start at age 1, right? Let's hope. But let's say they start at like 15, 16, you know. In high school, they start having all these options. So a 30-year-old has had like over 1,000 options. Absolutely. You know, it really makes you wonder why they're still single. And the reason as to why they are still single at 30, guys, is never a good reason. Alright, unless you tell me that they have been, I don't know, in Africa doing some help, you know, to restore some mud hut village. Okay, maybe then, if you don't have a body count, then okay. If you've been locked up by someone, you know, okay. But otherwise, guys, these women are not sitting at home reading the Bible, alright? Waiting for the right one. No. They are at the clubs, fucking left, right, and center. So immediately dismiss. Now let's move on, guys, to this one. This will be our last one, then we'll move on to a very interesting article that I have pulled up for you. So let's take a look.
So I really didn't think I would have to make a video like this, but there's been so much arguing and just controversy over this. The amount of comments and the amount of DMs that I've gotten, it's just ridiculous. I'm finally here to address it. Oh my goodness. All right. I'm just gonna say it. Yes, there are women out there that have cheated. Oh my gosh, I know. I mean, to me, honestly, I thought it was common sense. But a lot of people needed that, like, to be said. Even though my page is literally about, like, my experiences dating and, like, dating men, I always have to make sure that people know that it's not just men that cheat. I have to spell it out for them. And you know what, I just hope that this clears everything up, that, you know, sometimes women do cheat. Oh, and also sometimes women do wrong things in relationships. It's just really hard for me to say, and you know what, I honestly feel better after saying it, and I hope that cleared up a lot of things for you guys. I know you just had to wait for me to say it to, you know, see if it was true or not. I'm just glad to, you know, be here for you guys. And I know the rest of your day is going to be really hard, you know, having to use your own brain and think about this topic. So, you know, my heart is with you. So I really...
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the reassurance. Also, thank you for mentioning that sometimes women are wrong, because you know what, according to my ex, she hasn't been wrong in a 3-year relationship. It's actually fucking insane. Like, it's actually fucking crazy, guys. How many men can relate to them having an ex-girlfriend that has never been wrong? You know how many women are out there that are never wrong? They really need to listen to this advice. Don't tell it to us men who are quote-unquote butthurt. Tell it to the women. They are fucking morons running around thinking that they never do anything wrong. You know, like, challenge impossible to hold them accountable. So you tell it to those whores. But thank you regardless. Sometimes women do cheat, guys. And you know what? Sometimes they cheat with the guy they told you not to worry about. And sometimes women are compulsive liars and manipulators. I mean, all women are manipulators. It's not sometimes. It's literally ingrained in their brain. Sometimes women do run off with the children and 50% of your assets, you know? It's just things that happen in life. Sometimes this, sometimes that, sometimes, oops, sorry, your whole life went to the shitter because of this mentally unbalanced, overgrown kid. Okay. It's not about cheating. Men cheat, women cheat. It's alright. Pieces of trash cheat. It's about the, like, incredibly large disparity between female power, legal power, social power, you know? Have you thought about that one, you chicken brain? Out here sarcastically saying, oh, you men are all a bunch of crybabies. Yeah, you know why? Maybe there's a reason for it, alright? Maybe there's a reason for this outcry of how unfair everything is set up. You little bitch. So stop putting on your shitty ass makeup and think about that for a second, will you, you bitch? Probably can't. All the makeup, guys, has fried her fucking brain. But alright, like, women have a 50 IQ, Western women, alright, have a 50 IQ by default, and now they're decreasing it with all the toxins they intake, and all the meds they take just to feel like a human. So guys, let's move on to our last one. I know I said this is the last one, but there's actually one more, which is muted because there's some bullshit copyright song. But take a look at this woman. Alright, and look guys, I know I've said that ginger women are not people. I know I've said that. I mean, women aren't people in general, but especially gingers, like ginger, male, female, not human. But I think we can allow this one to live on our planet. Alright. Oh, Hidana, I hate her, she's ginger. It's alright, guys, I'll take her in. You know? It's just something about her strikes me, guys. I think she has a very big heart. You know, so this is why I'll be more, you know, graceful towards this woman's fate being a ginger. I'll allow her to live on this planet. But alright guys, with that piece of insight, let's move on to our article story. There is a bit of a yappuccino, but it's a topic I wanted to discuss. Vulnerability is consistently rated as one of the most attractive traits in men by women. Not weakness, vulnerability. The willingness to be authentic even when it's uncomfortable. Yeah, when I first heard this, I think it was in Mark Manson's book Models. I didn't believe it either, but it's the truth. Girls are much more emotional creatures than us men. They want, oh, I can see. They want the deep stuff, that's what she said, not just surface level bullshit. Most men here be vulnerable and think it means being weak, emotional, or oversharing. Yeah, literally nobody thought that, but thank you. That's not what vulnerability is. Vulnerability is the courage to be seen as you actually are, not as you think you should be. It's showing up authentically even when you don't have all the answers. It's admitting uncertainty without apologizing for it. It's being honest about your struggles while still owning your path forward. Look, guys, there's something true about women liking men. Yeah, maybe not vulnerable is the word I will use, but there's something true about women liking men who are emotionally deep. Alright, I'll buy that. But that's the thing, the vulnerability is not it. Right? Women, guys, don't want you to be vulnerable. And if you think I'm wrong, I don't know, mention some cases in which you sharing something with your girlfriend hasn't resulted in her bringing it 3 years later to shit on you. Like, I'm sorry, I want to buy this whole thing of women being supportive and being by your side and, oh, actually the fact that he shared this with me strengthened our bond. No, it's you share with women. You share with women your real feelings, your real intentions, and they just fuck you from behind with the same information provided. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna change my mind until I see otherwise. Maybe there's like 1 in 1,000 women that is not like this. I can buy that again. But most women, yeah, biggest mistake of your life if you let them know how you truly feel. It's a nick for them. And sorry to talk so much, but you can literally see this in this cultural phenomenon. You know how women have been whining for the past decades, how men are too closed inwards, and the patriarchy makes men, you know, close in themselves and not share, and the most romantic, beautiful thing a man can do is share and open up. And so some men who were blue-pilled and confused started doing that. And shortly after, this phenomenon occurred, what do they call it? What was the word? It was something about male feelings fatigue. You know, the massive amounts of women shouted out, "Oh man, they want us to be their mothers, and they want us to be their therapists, and I'm tired of carrying the mental burden and the mental load and this and that." I forgot the word for it, right? But you've probably heard it. There was like this massive pushback from women because apparently men overshare and men expect women to be their mothers or something like this. And this societal thing is what happens individually, all right? You're in a relationship and you'll hear your girlfriend bitch all day long about how you gotta open up and you gotta be emotional. And then you do, and it's like 2 weeks later, she's already sweating, guys. She's already tired, crying. You share too much. It's too much to take. So yeah, don't do it. Okay, I continue reading. The dictionary definition of vulnerable is susceptible to physical or emotional attack or harm. Doesn't sound great, I know. It's going to be a little uncomfortable at first, but hear me out. In my own life, I've seen the effect of this. I've personally had a pretty rough past with substance abuse, poor choices, and all that good stuff. I'm up front with the first 3 dates of meeting a girl, and not once have they got up and left or said they no longer want to continue seeing me. They almost always say they appreciate the honesty or share something about their own past. Just own it. Man, everyone has been through crap, but it speaks volumes when you can talk about it and even volunteer it. Here are a few examples of ways to be genuinely vulnerable without spilling your whole life story. Share a challenge you're facing, how they have impacted you. Share a small preference or opinion. Tell them something about yourself that most people don't know. Be genuinely interested and curious in conversation. None of this will hit the same if it's not authentic, remember that. You're demonstrating that your self-worth isn't tied to her approval. If you can move past the surface level talk and open up about how you feel and have one of those real meaningful conversations, then you can begin to build real connection. True confidence is knowing what you know and knowing what the hell? True confidence is knowing what you know and knowing what you don't know. and being honest about both. Being real about an experience or your feelings creates chemistry, not pretending to be someone that you're not. Yeah, again, I mean, I'm gonna call bullshit on that, like a huge pile of horse bullshit. I mean, it cannot be horse and bullshit at the same time, but you get the point. If this were true, all right, if it were true that you can show up and be your authentic self, dating will not look as it does. Dating is all about pretending and playing games. Like, literally, guys, the definition of being successful at dating is playing the game, which is the total opposite of being authentic. You know? It's just, yeah, it's just, we can't buy this, guys. We can't buy this. It's too fake. It won't work. I want it to work. I definitely want, guys, men to be able to be themselves. Again, that doesn't mean you're a crybaby, you're whining all day, you're putting a burden on your wife. I mean, I think as men, we all understand the burdens that men have to carry and the ones that women can carry. But I've never thought that men have to carry everything on their own. I think it should be absolutely normal and healthy and even desired to share a bit with your wife. Doesn't have to be all, doesn't have to, you know, you waiting down on her. No, but geez, can I be like a fucking human and just share something from time to time? I wish you could, but the truth is you can't. All right, and this guy going up there on dating, telling every girl his problems, dude, you're not going to be successful. Because as mentioned, dating is not about being authentic. It's the total opposite. I continue. I know all this probably sounds corny to some of you, but if you actually care about genuine human connection, this is extremely important to understand. Yeah, no, I care about genuine human connection, but most women don't. You see, that's the problem. Don't keep your ambitions private. Share your goals, talk about all the things you desperately want. I desperately want a woman who doesn't have a high body count. Can I say that on a date? No, I can't. It's an immediate turn off. If you want deeper connections, more meaningful relationships, and attraction that lasts beyond the surface, vulnerability isn't optional, it's required. Because vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the bridge between being seen and being known. And being known is what you actually want. The courage to be authentic even when it's uncomfortable. That's what makes you unforgettable. So he ends the article. Really beautiful, guys. Really beautiful, whimsical, you know, butterflies and rainbows article. Yeah, it's just not the reality that we live in. Should it be that way? Yes. You know, but it's just not. And yeah, you can thank women for that, by the way. You can thank women for the things they incentivize and reward, because if women incentivized men to be authentic, dating would look different. But if you take a look at the men that are succeeding, the men with the most amount of women, who are they, guys? The men who pretend. The men who are unavailable, the men who don't share their feelings because they are smart and don't want to get hurt, right? The men who don't commit. Like, I'm sorry, but you ladies incentivize that. So, hey, look, guys, I'm not telling you to be that way, right? I personally don't want to be that way. I don't want to play no games. I don't want to pretend that I'm someone I'm not. I'm just being authentic. And you know what that means? I'm single as fuck. How many of you can relate, guys? You are your authentic self, all right? You have this good boy morals, values, and it just literally takes you nowhere. Welcome to the club. But guys, please like and subscribe if that's your case. And even if not, please do. And I'll see you next time, guys. Have a good one.